Are you starting now?
Okay. Okay, so it's 5:04. Today is September 21st and to September ExCom. And I would like to call the meeting into order. Okay. So we can get started with, I call the meeting to order.
Okay. Do you have anything else you want to comment with to start with?
No,
Okay.
we can go ahead and proceed with the minutes.
Okay. I don't see here. All right.
So let's look at the participants. I guess I just want to welcome everyone to the meeting. So right now I'll just want to do a quick roll call. We have myself, Helen Winfrey, the section chair. We have Daniel, our section treasurer. Haley, she's the OSU student, graduate student president. And Indranil, I believe you are the DeVry online.
Yeah, I'm here, yeah.
Yes, thank you. And we have Jim Reed, our section auditor, Dr. Berger, our section vice chair, and OSU graduate student advisor. He had Raymond and Zach Hambleson. Welcome. Good evening, everyone, and thank you for. And also Bob Walston is here, sorry. Yeah, and Howard Jones, our secretary. So it's been a busy week. I just apologize for kind of rattle here. Anyway, so can everybody hear?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. So with that, we can get started with the minutes.
We have a revision to the June minutes. And we'll just go down to the secretary's report, which the change is that this is the change on these minutes that we're making the approval. Was May 18th is what we had shown. And that should have been April 20th. And then the motion was to approve that. So what I've done is made a motion or made the changes to correct the date from May 18th to April 20th. And what we need is a motion to approve that.
I move to approve it.
Berger. Wait, Berger, is that you?
Yes, that's me.
Thank you. I'll second.
Sorry.
And
Bob seconded.
Bob Walston seconded. All those in favor of the motion say aye.
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 Aye. Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Okay, we got that corrected now. We'll go to the one for August 17th. I did not get any comments back on the correction for that. Want to go through it? I know it takes time to go through it. So it's quite a bit of information in here.
Is there any comments on the August minutes that was sent out? I guess there's a lot of maybe we have some discussion. So if there's any question or needed to be a change, amendments.
I don't think we should go through. We got a lot of things to
Okay.
cover. So,
All right, if there's any question or comments, or any
I
change,
think it's good.
yes, do you want to go through the minutes? I mean, I'm willing to do that, but
we could probably just go through
I'm
it.
seeing the majority of it right now, and I don't recall there being anything. I remember I was traveling that time,
Yes,
so.
Dr. Berger said he does not see any issue.
well, then if no one objects, we just call for a motion to the,
I move to approve the August ExCom minutes.
okay, second,
And I'll second. This is Daniel.
Daniel,
okay. All those in favor of approving,
Aye.
say aye. Okay,
Aye. Aye.
Aye.
those opposed, say the same sign.
okay.
Okay, motion carries. Thank you.
Motion carried, okay. I'll stop sharing, and I guess we can just do a quick update for the chair's report. I don't have a whole lot. I missed the membership development meeting, just so tied up. You know, I'm a little bit short-handed at work. I lost a couple of engineers, left and find another opportunity outside of Mettler, so I'm trying to take care of the jobs while we're searching. And right now, I was just had some meeting, I guess, planned for October for senior member. We do have a lot of member in our section that are well qualified to for the senior member update. So I'm hoping that we can get a better turnout this time, and that is scheduled for October 21st right now. And I think we also have some event with the graduate student section of Ohio State for the IEEE Day. Trying to get some promotional items. Unfortunately, Sol had requested some items from the membership development, and the rule is the section can only request, I think, once every 30 days. So I may have to do a vote later on, request to get some money allocated to get some promotional items. That's all I have.
Okay.
Okay, Dr. Berger?
Nothing really on the vice chair because you haven't delegated anything to me. So I've been wearing the other IEEE hats.
Okay, I'll get back with you and see how things went with the, I guess your not online, your virtual conference.
Oh, I was gonna mention that when we come around to the EDS input.
Okay, great, thank you. Daniel?
Yeah. Yeah. So since our last conversation, I put together a report to kind of show the sections and all the chapters financials for our section. So I can share that now. I will caution or maybe preface that this is our first run at it. So I fully expect there to be some things that that look off, but this is going off of what we approved in, I believe, our April budget. So, but again, and Helen, I'm not sure if we want to dig into things as much here, or if we just want to kind of show it and then we'll allow people to give comments later.
I think that's good. Just go through, expenses relative to our income and
Okay.
so the allocation, just like updates, what had we done so far. I know you did some work for the EDS and also for EPEX. So just go through those.
Sure. Yeah, so what I have here, this shows all the different funding categories that we have in our section. So the beginning balances at the beginning of the year, this balance includes carryover from 2020, as well as what we allocated this year, what money is coming in, what money is going out from each of these funding categories, and then the ending balance as of this date. So this is from January 1st to August 31st.
Danielle, this has been Miravan. Could you zoom in a little bit so that we would be able to see it?
Is this better?
Yes. Thank you
Cool.
so much.
Yep, no worries. Yeah, so so this is what this shows. What I basically am wanting to highlight here is so that mainly so that every group chapter understands what their budgets are, how they're tracking for the year, and then also for us as this ExCom to see what accounts have gone over and how we want to address it. I will make note that we have a quite sizable general funding category, so. While we are, let's say, negative in some accounts, as a whole, we're well balanced. So, any questions at a high level here?
Daniel?
Yep.
This is Howard. I would like you to send me a copy of that, and I'm going to put that as an attachment to the minutes.
Sure.
So that
Absolutely.
when we put it out, we'll have that. I mean, I understand, I guess, I'm not sure why what negative numbers right now.
Yeah, so I think so that has to do with the money we allocated at the beginning of the year and what was actually coming out from those specific groups. So ED electronic devices, we had 4,600 allocated at the beginning of the year when we set our budget, but then we wrote them a check for something larger.
Yeah, because they also have money left over from the grants.
Yep.
So
Yeah. So and the main issue there is we didn't allocate that for like the money that they had from the grants. We didn't have that allocated for them.
So
I
the
was
money,
suspicious that the 4,600 was
these
too much of a
numbers
wild guess, and when I researched it, that's the more definitive number.
Yeah. And I think that's okay. I think what we're trying to do here is baseline. And then I think, moving on next year, we'll have a better idea and everyone will have visibility to where our numbers are.
Yep.
Danielle?
Yep.
This has been Miravan again. On the column on revenue, I believe we are mentioning how much? Is it $637.47?
Correct. Yeah, that's for each of these sections. Now, I kind of know where you're going, so I'm going to jump to this second page. So here shows all the money. So this is what we plan for as far as income for this year. And then this
so
is
the
what we actually,
it's 12,700.
Correct.
And the actual income, okay, could be 9,000. Okay, there's a
Yes,
discrepancy.
this is what we've actually received, and then this is the delta. The reason why this is a separate page is this money, this planned income, that's included in some of these budgets that we saw on the first page. So I wanted to kind of separate those so there's not confusion.
Okay, on the categories, I don't see anything about pace. We may want to have some kind of activity, a meeting or so before the end of the year. Anything in there or?
If it's not here, we did not allocate any money to it when we set our budgets. That doesn't mean we can't spend any money there. We just need to agree on a section to get that approval before we spend the money.
Okay, I do not remember, anytime anything came up, about pace, yes or no, but maybe you discussed it, and anyhow, I'm not aware of it. Maybe I should get in touch with you and Helen later on, so, okay. So we can do that. Oh, no, it's not here. No, because I tried to see it again. All right. So pace is missing in there, maybe other, other associated, meetings and so forth, are missing here too. I don't know, I'm not sure.
Yeah. So what's PACE stand for again?
This is the professional activities.
Is it right here?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So then we do have money allocated for it.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, you're okay. This is the pace. Okay, project use. Okay, I'm sorry, I missed it. So we have. Okay. Good thing you're showing that to me. So we have about 500. Okay.
Yep.
We always can change it, if you need some more. All right. Good enough.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for pointing this out.
Yep, no worries. Any other questions here at the kind of summary level from a section view?
With Dr. Berger, are we reconciled? Because I know the transfer was all completed, right? To the
Yeah, we're good.
Okay, good.
Thank you.
Okay. So already touched on the planned income. And then just so we know, I plan to send this I think our meetings are monthly for the ExCom. So I plan to have these report for each month in ExCom, and it'll have the balance as of the that report date, and then revenue expenses and the ending balance of as of that report date as well. And then this planned income will be rolling, so we know how we're tracking for the year. And then the pages following are any of the sections that have any income or any transactions here and revenue or expenses. I break them out here in the supporting documentation, so you can see what they were for. So this 250 for eWeek was for eWeek. And then for electron devices, this was a transfer requested by Dr. Berger. For Epics, this was a transfer that went through recently. This is a site transfer. Legislative Day. You can see some of the information for here. We had $200 for meetings for this OSU student banquet. OSU, they had a rebate from National for the activity of the group, and then they also had a joint event with Young Professionals. PES, what has been spent this year for PES. And Treasurer, so Treasurer, we had a financial audit in 2020. Not really sure what came from that necessarily, but anyways, this was the amount for it. And then some of the other expenses that we've
would appreciate it if you zoom in a little.
Oh, sure. Yep.
Thank you.
Yep, no worries. Yeah, so the financial audit, that's a typo here. And then, yeah, some mailings and the PO box. And then we had a couple events. And then I've already talked to Helen. We didn't allocate money at the beginning of the year, but we'll figure out how to reconcile that in the meantime. And then Young Professionals has been very active, as you can see. Okay, and that's the end of the report. Any questions or any things that we want to see differently? I'm hoping this provides visibility to the different groups and sections that we have, or different groups and chapters we have in our section.
Could you go back to the first page that you showed?
Sure. Yep.
If you don't mind, just
yeah.
Okay, thanks. Okay. Okay. So Howard is going to go ahead and issue this, right? Attach to the minutes.
Yep.
All right. Sounds good. Thank you.
Yep, no worries. Any other questions or comments?
So
Or
Daniel, do you want me to go ahead and make a motion to request funding for the WE?
Yeah, so what I would prefer is that we resolve some of these negative transactions and make a motion for these.
Okay, so I'll make a motion to have $300 for the WE for 2021 budget.
I second it.
A second. Mm,
Okay, those in favor, say aye.
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 Okay, motion carried to allocate $300 to WE activities and events for 2021. Okay. For the other negative ones, Daniel, I think the ADS is good. The epics, maybe we need to kind of explain a little that the epics actually had $20,000 during the 2019 fiscal year, but the money was not actually dispersed until 2020, and the remaining 10,000 was written out just this year.
Correct. Yeah, so for these ones, for EDS and also for epics, so based on what we approved, it's still negative. So we still will want motions to true those up.
Okay, so I guess I just want to have a motion to acknowledge that, acknowledge the treasurer's report.
Have somebody make a motion for me.
Okay, so we make a motion to acknowledge, and then we, Daniel can work to balance it out so we don't have a negative in the following report,
Right.
right?
And you got your motion to add it, so it'll go in on this.
Okay. So those in favor, say aye.
Writing in.
Aye.
Oh, sorry, who's second? I made a motion, who's second?
I'll second.
Okay, Dr. Berger. Those in favor, say aye.
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 Aye. Motion carried to acknowledge the budget as prepared and some amendments. Thank you, Daniel. That's wonderful. A great job. I know you spent a lot of time with these to get started and present to the group. It's a lot of work for you. Thank you.
Yep, no problem.
Yeah, that was a lot of work. You inherited a mess.
Hopefully, so 2021 should be good. I would say previous years, I'm still not sure what the resolution there is, but we can tackle that later.
Yes, I think we'll do that after our bylaws. Once we completed the bylaws, we can get back into the previous year's accounting. So
Okay.
we also have the PO box now, right? So everything goes to the PO box.
Correct. And just one more point of clarification. So to resolve all the negative accounts, that all that money is coming from the general funding. Just wanted to clarify that.
That's correct. Okay, with that, we can go into the societies, professional societies. So membership development, I don't think Saul is present. He did send me a message today that he was tied up, but like I said, we agreed on the October 21st for the senior member upgrade meeting.
Where's that gonna be at?
Actually, it's he also reserved a room here in Whitehall, but we will do a virtual as well.
What date was that again? I didn't-
October 21st. All right. And Ben, anything on pace? Hello, Ben? I think we lost Ben.
Lost me.
Oh, we can get back to Ben later on. So I don't see Ian and Josh here, so there's nothing on education. We need to actually get working on MakerX since we have a big donation into that. I want to make sure that the section is fully represented in that, and I may tap into the student section as well to help out on the event, and if they wanted to have some exhibits during the event as well.
And under the educational.
Yeah, so that would be, I think the last time I had my communication with the organizer is December 5th.
You know, they were looking for money.
Yes.
Did we turn money over to them?
Not yet. That's
Okay.
that's another thing that we need to write the remainder of the MakerX account, since we're no longer the fiscal owner of the event. We turn that over to somebody else.
Are we running it through our section again?
No,
No, okay.
no, we no longer do that.
Okay,
It's too much to manage.
yeah, okay.
I think Daniel is happy to hear that.
Right.
Okay. And Ian has no update on the web. I know we need to update our website. It is pretty, some of the information is lagging behind. I may have to tap Anupam again, or additional volunteer that can help out to make sure that our website is up to date. I know Ian did a great job updating it when we lost the website, but he's extremely busy at the moment. Okay, so student activities, I have not heard from Carl. I'm not sure if anybody have heard from Carl, but especially the site projects, I tried to contact him, but I have not got any response.
Talked to Carl about 3 weeks ago, maybe,
Okay,
and yeah, he had indicated that they will not be building that hydroponics garden. Things did not work out with that John guy, and so it's kind of fizzled a little bit. So they're going in a different direction.
okay,
And I think that's yet to be determined exactly, but it's more educational. They simply downgraded the area to raised beds, you know, just a typical kind of conventional garden. No real technology, but they're looking into some other things, educational events and things, I believe.
okay. I think because they built that brand new boys and girls club in the same location, so that might be something maybe Carl is gonna point
Yes,
some.
I think he did make reference to that again. Yeah.
Okay, I'll touch base with him and see what more. That's unfortunate.
Jim is on there, you didn't skip Jim.
No, not yet.
Oh.
Yeah, so he's next.
Oh,
Okay, thank you, Dr. Berger, for the update. So,
Welcome.
Jim, we'll move on to the auditor, Jim. Any comments?
Can you hear me okay?
Yes, we can.
Okay. I'm your history And I'm still working on 2017 along with our secretary. What we need is a fresh run out of all the transactions for 2017 and a fresh copy of the budget. I know we're 4 years behind, but there was a lot of things occurred.
Okay, I think we can do that. I have, I believe I have the CBRS from 2018. And we can pull at least the expenses on that. And Daniel, myself, and Josh actually had a meeting a couple of weeks ago, and we were able to clarify some of the checks that in question. So hopefully, I know Josh says that everything is in Google Drive, but I know you already spent way too much time digging into some of those things already.
Okay. Okay, very good. What I would prefer is a NetSuite Excel sheets of all that material, and then I can grind them up in our own audit format.
Okay.
Helen, this is Ben Miraban. I had to step out of the room for a few minutes. I don't know whether you called me or not, but anyhow, I'm back in right now. I had another
Okay.
telephone call I had to get and so forth. I'm back in the meeting. Thanks.
Okay. So is there anything else, Jim?
That's all on this end. Like I say, we're your history.
Yep. All
Hey,
right.
Helen, are you wanting me to find that information, or do you already have access to it?
We probably could get 2000. I don't have 2017. I have 19, 20, and I believe 18. But if we can probably do a report, latest report, just go ahead if you have the access. 17, 18, 19, and 20.
Okay, and Jim, you're just looking for just a printout of all the transactions? Is that all you're looking for?
Well, except not a printout. I want the electronic file so I can process them myself.
Okay, I will see what I can find.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, thanks, Jim. So we have Ben. Anything on
Yes.
page?
Nothing really new, but the hope is for the next 2-3 months before the end of the year, hopefully we would be able to have a meeting, at least one meeting. That's the hope, that's the wish, and we are working toward that. That's all.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Program near the end of the year or something.
Yes, he was hoping to do some program before the end of the year. Okay, thank you, Ben. So that brings us to Bob Holston on our section advisor.
Hopefully everybody can hear me. Let's see, Helen, and then Howard Jones, Mayor Russ, Ian, myself.
Ben.
Yeah, okay. Ben Maribon. We all worked on the local operating procedures for our section. And we had several revisions that we went through in August, and we approved a final version. And so that'll actually be emailed out to the section ExCom members. I haven't done that. Was I supposed to do that?
Yeah, it's already emailed on September 5th or 6th.
Because I
Yeah.
don't know that I got one.
I didn't get one.
You didn't get one?
I didn't either.
I had feedback from Dr. Berger, Dr. Golsey. The only feedback that I got is from Dr. Golsey about the DeVry student, because the DeVry student online,
International.
they're international, and so I don't know how we're going to tie them to the local. Maybe we need to make some exception for the DeVry Online, because they're not educated, even though DeVry Online is a child of Columbus, but the students are everywhere.
Right.
Helen, I read that, comment. We probably should learn, how other sections have done it. Because, some of the other sections in Region 2, they're just, in a university town or city or something like that. And definitely they do have some association with other universities or international students overseas. It would be nice to know how others in Region 2 are conducting this.
It's a little, I
can't we
think that
take
the
them?
DeVry Online is a little bit different because, that was rooted with the student, the physical location in Columbus.
Yeah, the students being physically
Yeah.
located at a university within our section.
Yeah, but can't we leverage the COVID-19 pandemic where we've been distance learning for more than a year? And so, yes, OSU students are apportioned to OSU, but over the past year, many of our students have been hither and thither, all scattered across the planet, but they're still resolved as being OSU because that's where they're taking their classes, even
Yeah.
though it's in a virtual
Yes.
sense. So can't you kind of borrow that and map that onto DeVry?
So do you think we need to just put a language that, although the students, the chapter is under the Columbus section, that the students should adhere to their own local, I guess, wherever, for example.
No, what I was thinking is that they're taking school that has a brick and mortar footprint in Columbus, Ohio, so therefore they are associated with that brick and mortar institution.
Yeah, the only issue I think might be, I have to check that DeVry might only be online now. I don't know if they're brick and mortar anymore.
No, that's completely.
Well, but where's their server? Where are their lecturers? Where's their?
It's all online.
I think they're from all over because right now the student president is based in Texas. So it is strictly online because majority of the professors are also scattered across the U.S. So
Okay.
If I may offer some insight,
Sure.
I'm from DeVry Online, but we have different main locations all over the place. So like I live in Georgia and the brick and mortar school that I'm associated with is the Decatur location in Georgia. But for our IEEE student branch, we're only associated with the one in Columbus. Does that make sense?
That's correct. Yes.
Does that make sense to you? Actually, maybe the question. Are you comfortable with that?
Well, there's power in numbers. So if we combine our forces and then are just listed under one, then that's great. But that does mean that I get a lot of Region 3 stuff from here in Georgia. So it can be very confusing for our members.
But it's good that you're associated also with Region 3, so you know what activities are going on in your local area.
Right, exactly.
So that's a little bit of a dilemma in a sense, because I think, in my opinion, I would allow the student to maybe coincide their activity with their local. Like for example, the DeVry Online has a Women in Engineering branch. chapter, but it is based in Atlanta. But that Women in Engineering is showing under the Columbus section because DeVry Online is under Columbus, so they had, a child within the child, you may say, but actually the we is under Atlanta. So I think to make it simpler, as long as it's an IEEE, maybe society or section, they can apply it to their local area.
Helen, this is Ben again. It never hurts to be in contact with Region 2. Like, University of Philadelphia, they have lots of students everywhere. What they have done, as well as, IEEE, is just, for some kind of guidance if they have any kind of guidance. If not, then, we can create our own. But it never
Yeah,
hurts.
we
to
can
have
check
to
with
have more
the membership development and see what they can recommend in this case.
Sounds good. Sounds good.
Okay? Oh,
Thank
Bob,
you.
So, would we be able to approve the current local operating procedures and then amend it later, or should we hold off?
no, we have to I will call a separate meeting.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Was it sent out to vote on specifically?
I sent it out because according to the procedure, it needed to be reviewed by at least 21 days. So I have sent it out. I
I
believe,
didn't know, I saw the first one when we finished it. You asked for comments, I sent that back, I didn't say anything after that.
Yeah, that's.
Did you put a vote thing out, the vote you?
no, I did not. It needs to be sent to the ExCom and review for 21 days before we can call a vote.
And that's what you did.
And that's what I did.
Oh, okay.
I sent it out and I had comments, Dr. Berger and Golsey, and I think Ben, I assume the people that was on my list received it.
Except for Howard.
Yes, I did receive it. I reviewed it. I didn't have any comments. I mentioned it to you. I'm fine. Yeah.
So my plan at the moment is do first week of October. In my meeting when I sent it out, I was saying maybe end of September, because end of September would give it 3+ weeks.
Yeah.
So that was ample notification for the
I
ExCom.
wondered why we didn't go ahead after this meeting and send it out.
Yeah, so it's already been sent out.
I didn't,
It's in my, I hope it didn't go to your junk mail.
Yeah.
no, I don't know what either.
Oh,
So,
okay.
is there any other new comments that should be brought up now, or?
I think that's the only thing it's for the DeVry Online. So we'll maybe send Ellen Perez from membership development and get some kind of, just like a recommendation.
Okay, Helen, now, if you think, we should be following with Region 2 and IEEE, I was wondering, if you would be able to do it, or Bob would do it, or someone else would do it, I mean, if you think, that's a thought, that's the approach, if they would have any comments that, would be able to include it, or whatever, decision you would like to make, but at least, we should have some kind of action here.
Yes, yeah, we will have it. And once we get some recommendation, and we will put it in, and then we'll send it out again, but I won't expect to wait another 21 days to do that. It's just an amendment. So we could probably get it done as soon as possible and look forward into having a vote by first week of October.
Great. So you will be in touch with other resources, and you will include comments in there in case. Thank you.
Yes. Okay.
Okay.
So Howard, 47 minutes.
Okay, that's all I had.
Okay. Thank you, Bob. And Okay, for Carl, I will get in touch with Carl. So that will bring us into our technical societies and affinity. And I have not heard from Dr. Bringer for the AP MTT. I know they had some event. I saw some event in the V-Tools. Computer Society, Bob, do you have anything for that?
Yeah. I'm still continuing to work on getting speakers for the fall. I thought things were going to improve where we could have an in-person meeting, but it looks like we're going to have to stay virtual. And outside of that, yesterday I was contacted by the Zheng Ping, the IEEE New York ComSoc chapter chair, and he would like IEEE Columbus ComSoc chapter to co-host a virtual distinguished lecture presentation with him on Friday, the 29th of October. The only downside is it's on a Friday from 8 to 9:15 p.m., which I don't know if that's going to affect attendance or not, but the topic is connecting space assets to the internet, challenges and solutions. And Professor Mohammed, I think it's Atik Kuzaman, he's a professor at Oklahoma University. And he's going to talk about data communications between Earth and spacecraft, such as satellites, using shared links like the Internet Protocol based communications instead of dedicated links. And so that's going to be a distinguished lecture presentation. So I think that'll be pretty good. I just hope Friday evening isn't a bad time. So that's the only thing I have confirmed right now.
Okay. Yeah, it's still good. And I mean,
What date was that again?
29 October. We don't go anywhere on Friday anymore, Bob. So it's listen to a lecture. It might be interesting. Okay. Okay, thank you. So controls, Carl is not here. So Dr. Berger, share with us your,
Yes, the two things is just a quick summary update on the conference that I hosted, which was supposed to be in Columbus, Ohio, but we had to go virtual. Looking at some data now, it looks like we had well over 10,000 impressions on LinkedIn from the social media blasts that we were disseminating. I amassed quite a lot of positive comments by the plenary and invited speakers. I'm going to try to collate that. I was just asked by the Electron Device Society newsletter editor-in-chief for me to write a summary article summarizing the event, and I promised him that in 2 weeks' time, roughly, I would send him a draft with some salient photos. We used, courtesy of one of my conference committee members, we used GatherTown. I don't know if you're familiar with that, but you know, a virtual conference can be very stale, very just a bunch of one-way soliloquies, so we used a GatherTown's experience. It kind of looks like an old Atari game board, but if you can look past that, it provides a modality for you to literally interact with people as you would normally do. You can walk over to this room, walk over to that, and when you come close to someone, you start to hear them and you start to see them on their Zoom camera. And so you can have spontaneous, you know, hey, Fred, I haven't seen you in a few years, and you can have a spontaneous conversation. And so you know, I witnessed a few interactions that were leading to you know, perhaps joint proposals and things. I know that I triggered one or two of those, so it was very I got a lot of positive comments from that. And then the second thing was I cross-pollinated with the IEEE graduate student body, GSB, who's represented here today. And I delivered to them a lecture on best research practices.
Great. Yeah, it's amazing what the interest and ingenuity comes out of even with the pandemics and things.
Oh, and then maybe since it's in the same budget allocation, the same account, I mean, my IEEE Humanitarian Activities Committee, the HAC project in South America. Actually, I was just in the last hour, I was messaging back and forth. They're finalizing the trailer, so they have a shipping container that they modified, and now they're finalizing building a dedicated trailer that will haul this thing around the La Guajira desert. So we were just haggling, do we want the trailer to pivot or not? Which I think it does, because it's still, even though it's shortened, it's still 4 meters long.
So this is for the desalination process, right?
Correct. Yeah. Yeah. So we're going to start mounting the solar panels pretty soon. And then all the batteries and water filtration and all that is like parked in various people's garages around around the university city in Colombia, where we're doing the building.
Right. I don't think there's much of an issue with travel, because my boss is actually building a house in Panama. He seems to be traveling back and forth there without any problem.
I wouldn't. I'm not going back down. I mean, last time I went there, I got trapped 4 months, so I'm a little bit leery. But because
Maybe
of
not in
that,
Colombia, yeah.
yeah, you knew about that, right?
Yes, yes.
Oh, okay. So, I mean, the silver lining was that I met this team of metal workers that I have great confidence in, and they've been just banging out the work. The only the only delays were actually in the banking system in Colombia to be able to pay them. So we had work stoppage. There's the banking. Daniel, if you think the accounting is bad here, you should see there. Oh my goodness, the taxes and the IEEE, they changed presidents in the club down there, and apparently the bank account has to be registered with the government. So there's all kinds of paperwork that had to be generated to officially register this account. It was a nightmare.
Yep. Okay, that's great. So I don't see Richard. I think Howard, you met with Richard a while back, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, because I need to check with him, since it's September now. I know I have the contact with the people that does the e-week.
yeah,
So I think that we need to start working on, since we're one of the sponsor for e-week. So I want to make sure that we actually get in contact with the organizer early on.
okay. I don't know who's the organizer is.
Greg Boyer.
You know what company or what?
He's with,
organization?
I believe the ASCII, maybe, yes, the Civil Manufacturing, I think Society, ASME. Okay, so signal processing, I haven't heard from Dr. Lee. Solid state and circuit, this is, they just created this society last year, but Ramy, the chair, I don't know if he's left. Right now, they have no, it's an open position for chair. They do have a secretary and a treasurer. And I'm trying to get a hold of those guys. a young professional, Colleen. I don't see Colleen on the list, but they did have an event last month. I will get in touch with her. We had a joint event in July 21st with I'm planning on probably doing a joint event with OSU student, graduate student and undergrad, since we normally do a networking event every semester. That seems to be a good event for the student section. So I may touch with you also with that, Haley. Okay. Student branch. Yes, we have DeVry online. I see Brian and a few of you guys. Well, thank you for joining. Brian, do you have any update on DeVry?
Yeah, actually, I think we're all gonna try and give you guys a little bit more information about what we're doing. I know we had a couple of speakers and presentations last month, and I think we talked to you guys about what they were. Our treasurer, Justin Maines, actually gave a presentation on the IEEE Extreme competition. And there were a couple of us there, and I thought it was really informative. And luckily, he was able to record the presentation as well. So because it was on a Sunday, you know, a lot of times people are spending time with their family, but I think the recording being available probably helps. And I think his presentation was very informative because I didn't know much about the competition before it. And I think it was on the 14th. There was a DeVry workshop. It was a LabVIEW workshop. And unfortunately, I wasn't able to attend, and no one at our executive committee meeting last night attended either. So I don't really know what to report on that because I'm not quite sure how that one went. But other than that, I think we've been working on getting the programming committee started. And Devin, our program chair, has been working on that a lot. So I'll actually let him talk to you about that a little bit. Devin, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Sorry, I had a call.
Oh, no problem. Do you have a minute to talk to Columbus about the programming committee that we're trying to get started?
Yeah, well, we're actually really close. We've secured a faculty advisor. We have meetings scheduled starting next Wednesday, and we have a chair applicant who looks promising. So we're getting ready to get started on that, and we're all pretty excited about that.
So are you guys participating in the extreme competition?
We are planning to prepare for it. I'm hoping we'll have enough time, but we still have to get organized. We were hoping to interview the applicant last night, but he wasn't able to make the meeting. But I'm talking to him on the Discord, so we're trying to get everything ready to go.
Okay, because I think every team need at least 2 people, right?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
learned about 2 people and a proctor, I think.
Yeah, and a lot of our members have expressed interest in doing the programming committee, and some have expressed interest in doing the competition as well.
That's good. Okay.
So we're excited for the programming committee to start up, and the robotics group is doing well. They've always got something going on. I think Ladinia can give you guys the latest.
Yes. So we have just all received Bobots from Professor Jaluli. He mailed them out to us so that we could start working with them during this session and being able to get some experience under our belt with these devices. And so we've got 2 weeks in this session that we've already been working with them. And we are looking forward to seeing what Professor Jalili has for us in the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, and I think the robotics group, we're working on, we're waiting on the chair of the robotics group, George, to finish up the 3D printer proposal. We had some paperwork that he was filling out, and he might be done, but I think George gets busy with work a lot of times, so it's hard for him to make the executive committee meetings. So we'll find out where he's at with that, and then we're going to get you guys a proposal next month for some 3D printers for the robotics committee. So just wanted to give you guys a heads up on that. So otherwise, we have other things we're working on. Like I need to send out a request for a student chair for the computer networking committee that we're trying to start, but otherwise we're just trying to keep the things that we have going moving as well to keep students interested. So I think that's all we have.
Sounds good. I know you guys sounds busy. That's always good. So thank you very much. We have Haley. Is that Haley for the OSU graduate student?
Yeah, correct. That's how I say it, Haley. Can I share my screen to give updates?
Yes, go ahead.
Thank you. So this is our presentation, and we are IEEE GSP graduate student body from the Ohio State University. Today, my name is Haley Naik. I'm the president of the IEEE GSP student organization, and Indranil Naik is our vice president candidate, and he is also in the meeting, and he will be talking about the event proposal. I would like to share some event highlights. Last semester, we did Hydroclass Arts and Crafts event for IEEE GSP officers, just for networking and do some team building activities. We also had an appreciation session. And we have developed ECE Grad Network. It's a Microsoft team. So we ask all ECE graduate students to provide their information using Microsoft Form. And we just, based on their specialization, we post their information on a specific channel so they can network with other students in this who has the same area of interest. So before the autumn semester started, we had our best research practices by Professor Paul Berger. There were almost, the event was hybrid, and there were almost 30 in-person attendees and 10 virtual session attendees. So it went pretty well. Then when the semester started, we had 2-day bagels, donuts, and coffee event. So the new ACE graduate student can come and network with each other. We invited the Dean of College of Engineering, Ayana Howard, and we also invited Andrea Zerani and all the faculties. So Dr. Andrea Zerani is our ACE department interim chair. So, and at the time, Professor Paul Berger was also in the USA, so he could attend our event too. So I would just like to share some pictures of that event. Then a few days ago on September 19th, we had leadership retreat. It was only for IEEE GSP members and officers. So we learned some time and stress management, communication lessons, and we performed some team building activities with Brian from the Ohio Union. And currently, our secretary, Jorge, is leading this event. It's a virtual company info session with Texas Instrument, and we got a really good response for that. And I would like to invite all of you to our upcoming event. It's on IEEE Day. And the name of the event is The Fourth Industrial Revolutions Changing Everything by Dr. Jonathan Ray Chintel. He is the founder and CEO of Human Future, and he will be coming from San Francisco to Columbus to educate us on how Industry 4.0 is changing the world. So it's a kind of learn, network, and dinner event where we will be able to learn about Industry 4.0. We will never be able to network with the companies. So Rovises and Texas Instruments, these two companies representatives are coming to the Columbus to network with students and faculties. I invited Helen, and I'm glad that she accepted our event invitation, and she will be joining us too. And I would like to invite other attendees to come and celebrate IEEE Day with us. If you would like to register for the event, you can just scan the QR code. And when it's time to select an option, please choose these options mentioned here. And once you select that option, you will be able to find an Eventbrite link where you can reserve your seat. And then you will have to come back to the Microsoft form and provide your the seat information and submit the form. So I highly encourage everybody to come and join us on IEEE Day and celebrate with us. It's on October 5th from 6 to 9 at Hitchcock Hall 131 at OSU campus.
Could I just interject that I'm really proud of GSB because this is a campus-wide event. So they're really breaking out of their demographics and going campus-wide. This should be a big event.
Yes, we are expecting almost like 150 number of attendees of total. So it's going to be a big event, but we would highly appreciate if you could join. I would invite Andrano to talk about our new event proposal.
Yeah, thank you, Haley, for that. So we are planning to organize an event on how to write and review scientific manuscripts. So writing scientific papers is essential part of doing PhD, and even for the master's thesis students, as they are involved in research work. So it is also important for them, especially if they are planning to pursue higher studies in future. And regarding the peer review process, like it is the pillar for the scientific research community, as it acts as a gatekeeper of the quality and the accuracy of the scientific manuscripts. And most of the graduate students, especially the senior PhD students, they get involved in the peer review process while in university. So we think that the graduate students can greatly benefit from this event. Now, as for the speakers, we are planning to invite the OSU faculties and IEEE speakers for giving a lecture on this topic. So please let us know if you have any suggestions on that. Yeah, now I will ask Haley to go over the financial aspect of this event.
Thank you, Andrano. I would just quickly like to go through the estimate cost. So we are expecting at least like 30 number of attendees, and we would be spending money on food and promotion of the organization and the event. So the estimate cost is around $350 or more. So we would just like to spend the fund that is allocated by IEEE to student branch. So if you like the idea and if you would like to fund for this event, we would really appreciate. Thank you so much for listening to us and for your patience. As I introduced the Industry 4.0 event, if you would like to register for this event, you can also scan the first QR code here about, that says Linktree. So you will be able to get the registration links for that event from here too. Thank you. Please let me know if you have any questions and regarding anything. My email ID is neik.107@osu.edu. Thank you.
Do you have any time frame? When do you plan to do the manuscript workshop?
So we are planning to do it either in November or December, but we will have to check if there is a conflict about the final exam or midterm. We might do it in the end of the October.
Okay. Great. That's definitely a very good information. And I may have to ask you and Dr. Berger also from your conferences about just summary of and pictures and stuff. I need to send some update to Cheng Lu for I think the third quarter, maybe Region 2 meeting. So it would be great to include some of those photos of events in the report.
Okay, when's your report due? I'm writing that newsletter update for the EDS thing, you know, for the IFETC conference. I'll probably hopefully pop that off in about 2 weeks' time. Got a few deadlines between now and then.
Yeah.
But Helly could maybe share these slides with you. That might be suitable, perhaps.
Yes. That's great. They, you know, Region 2 always like to see activities by the section. Okay.
Okay.
I don't think all the other schools are here. They're not represented. We don't have any OSU, OU representative. Same state, Columbus State. The Columbus State is actually not active.
Oh, were we gonna make a motion for the to support the GSP event?
Is that the manuscript event?
Yeah,
So that's $350, right?
I think that's what they're aiming for, yes.
Right.
That's a request for funds.
Yeah. So
I didn't understand.
so the student general fund have money for student section to request from. So they are planning an event sometime in late October or November to do manuscript review.
Yeah, they just need to firm up the speakers.
The firm up the speaker. So I think that's fine because they do have budget for the student section. And I can, if anybody wants to bring the motion, then I'll second it.
I'll bring a motion to support the IEEE GSP manuscript writing and review event scheduled for later in October. The request that they have made is for $350 to defray the cost of food and do you have a budget for that, Helly?
So we haven't finalized the details yet, but we will be able to do it later in the October. So most probably we will be planning this event in the November, month of November.
Okay, so maybe with a caveat that we need to see the numbers. So maybe in the motion we I don't know.
I came up with this data from the event we had for best research practices. So we had around 30 number of attendees, and we spent almost $200 at that time because we were cutting some costs. But this time we would like to share some promotional items with the attendees so they can join the organization and we can promote the organization. So I estimate the cost would be around like $350.
Okay. Yeah, yeah, I do remember you said it was about $10 per person
Yeah,
for each of the box lunches, a submarine, a drink, and
yeah,
chips
correct.
and so forth. Yeah.
Correct. We at least consider $10 per attendee. So based on that, it's like almost $300 and maybe a little bit more. And then if we decide to share some promotional items, that's like extra cost, about $50, maybe more. But we have some inventory that we can use. But to cover other expense, we can spend that $50.
Okay. Okay. Then I make a motion to support their event at the amount of 350. I feel placated about their budget request.
Okay, I will second the motion for 350 to support the OSU's graduate student branch event sometime in October or November. Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay,
Aye.
motion carried to allocate 350 for the OSU student branch, graduate student branch event. Okay,
Thank you, Helen.
all right.
Thank you, Helly.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank
I
you, Indranal.
Old business,
No,
no business.
That's all.
Okay,
What, yeah, we need to adjourn.
yeah. Is there any other business?
No.
New business? Okay, nothing new. So thank you everyone for taking your afternoon. I know everybody's busy and I truly appreciate the reports, and especially from the student branches. So it's great when we have participation from you guys. So with that, I would call the motion to adjourn the meeting.
I second.
I just have one question. I requested to get some IEEE promotional items for IEEE Day. So we were like you said that we will discuss it. So I guess that's the thing that I'm not sure about.
Yes, yeah, I think at the very beginning I mentioned it that the section is actually from the membership development. They limit the section to, what do you call this? Only request promotional item every 30 days. And unfortunately, Sol has already requested some promotional items for the senior member night. So we can't request anymore, but that doesn't mean we cannot get promotional items ourselves. So I will probably,
What's the lead time on that? Because their event is not until end of October.
no, this is for the IEEE day, which is October 5th.
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, so that's only about 2 weeks. And I know we can print out some materials, but if we want to get some maybe promotional items, pens, I don't know, other things, I believe the section can spend some money for that. I mean, we do have funds for some items. It may not be, you know, like t-shirts or things like that, because t-shirts are quite expensive. Yeah, so we may be able to get some little items that we can get within 2 weeks, you know.
Oh, that sounds great to me. That would be so helpful to promote IEEE and the organization on IEEE Day. Okay,
I will look at the IEEE. I think they have the brands that we have to get, you know, this brandings we can get some pens and maybe some few other things. If we can get a few t-shirt, we can raffle it out. Maybe, 5 or 10, maybe.
Yeah, like if we can get some like 10 t-shirts, we can distribute it to officers to encourage them and appreciate them for volunteering for the organization.
Yeah, that's an idea. I will check with Ian. Ian is have some people that actually does the printing locally. So maybe I know IEEE has the format that we have to follow for the branding. So at least we can just use those. They even had the t-shirt in the IEEE Day website as well. We can just add the Columbus section into it. So we can, I will check that with Ian and see what we can do, and I'll just get back with you on that.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate that.
Okay, with that,
I made the motion, made a second.
okay, so Howard made the motion to adjourn. Any second?
I second.
Dr. Berger, second. Okay, those in favor to adjourn, say aye.
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 And aye, and thank you everyone, and have a good night.
Good
Good
evening.
night.
Good night.
Thank you.
Good night. Thank you.
Thank you.
Ian,
1 hour 21
minutes. I didn't know. I'll write that. Or
21 minutes.